And it has been a very, very news-filled live Tuesday, Wednesday rather. Tuesday went fast too, and I've been confused since the beginning of the week because I thought the first was the second. I think that's because New Year's Eve was on a Sunday, so I thought of it as kind of like New Year's Day. And then when I saw the Rose Bowl, the game on Monday, I was thinking, oh my gosh, have they moved the Rose Bowl now to the day after because of all this championship stuff? And then it got me all straightened out. But the days go by really, really fast. And what is this, Ted?
This is the fastest hour on the internet.
That's right. That's right.
And it's going faster and faster, Mayor, with everything you try to fit into these shows.
You know, I want you to know just a little bit about Ted because he's very sneaky. He's a very sneaky guy. I told him earlier today when we were coming home from the radio station that we were going to we could try 2 cameras tonight. And we never do 2 cameras because I don't know why he doesn't want to be on. He doesn't mind taking over for me sometimes. But he doesn't want to be on. He doesn't want to be on television. Maybe he's wanted.
No.
One of these people. I mean, I've been with people who didn't want to be on television because they're wanted.
No, look, people are here. I love chiming in. I'm no idiot. People are not here.
No, wait. Who called you an idiot? Nobody. You called yourself an idiot. Nobody called you an idiot.
Well, look, I'm not saying I'm not. I don't have anything to add. However, people are here to watch Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Rudy. They did a movie on you.
They did a movie. Yeah, Rudy. Yeah.
Notre Dame.
They did. They did a movie. They did a movie on me too. But so let's.
Well, we will get the second camera going for the end of the show.
So first,
we remember what we agreed. We're going to do at the end of the show.
We were working very, very hard to do a show before the show, and we were going to do one on Epstein. And we were going to do one if we had gotten the names, but they had a problem getting the names out. Something. The machine got something or other, so the names had a hard time coming out. Been really hard to get these names out, huh? Ooh. And I really wanted to do two pieces on it, and one we'll do no matter what with the names. And I've never really shared with people, which I should have way back then, and. You might have even thought if they did a real investigation, they might have called me as a witness. I don't think they really investigated it. And that is that particular jail. That jail was my jail. What I mean by that is, as the United States Attorney in the Southern District of New York, that's where I put everybody that was arrested in that jail, unless there was some special reason not to. Now, really, in my earlier days as an assistant U.S. attorney, my jail was over on the west side of Manhattan called West Street. And then they built a new jail and they connected it to the United States Attorney's Office. And it was a fascinating situation because both the United States Attorney's Office and the jail were connected to the courthouse by 2 wings, like a Y that met, like they go out from the courthouse like this. So one would go to the U.S. Attorney's Office and the other would go to the jail. So every once in a while, the prosecutors and the prisoners would meet as they were entering for court that day. It created a couple of interesting situations. Had a couple with some of the mafia guys. Those were really good. Hey, good morning, Mr. Giuliani. That some of them, were obsequious almost to the point of trying to be very dignified. It's hard for a guy that killed as many people as he did to be dignified, but he tried to be dignified. Good morning, Mr. Giuliani. And he spoke, pretty much clear English. He was not a couple of them talk like this, hey, how you doing or what? That kind of stuff. But the point is, I watched that jail get built because my office was in the courthouse when that jail was being built in the U.S. Attorney's Office. I was responsible at a very high level for that jail when I was associate attorney general. And I put a lot of people in that jail. And I put a lot of sensitive people in that jail. And I know a lot about, we'll talk about it when I can put it all together on on America's Mayor Confidential, because I got to get it. I want to get a couple of facts absolutely right. Also, I'd like to have the names because I don't know, except like you, I don't know who or what the names are. But here's the absolute truth. Some of those people probably did engage in the perverted acts that Epstein was famous for. And some of those people didn't, because Epstein couldn't possibly have shared it with the world. Otherwise, he'd have been caught a long time before he was caught. He shared it with people that he had something on. So if you were just somebody he was doing the financial planning with and making a lot of money with them, and your inclinations were not to be perverted with young people, he wasn't going to let you know that. So, and there's no question, I know enough about the case to know he would show, several sides of his personality. But there is a group that was part of it with him. And unfortunately, I think all those names are going to appear together. And I'll give you a couple of hints and facts that you can use to at least somewhat separate them in your mind before you convict all of them, because I hate unfairness, and I also don't know why the hell this case wasn't investigated thoroughly, both the alleged suicide and the tremendous amount of information that they have and that Maxwell has. So we'll go through that on a 360. We'll give you kind of an overview of what to look at and a couple of facts that probably I only know about that jail. I can sort of almost take you through it on a tour with my eyes closed, because I had to know it. I put some people there that people really wanted to kill. I put people there who were suicidal, more than a few. And I'll talk to you about how that all works, and then also how to evaluate those names. So we end up doing something that, of course, in Biden's America, nobody cares about, which is to be fair. But in the America that I grew up in, and that is going to be restored, fairness is enormously important.
So
yes, faceless wonder.
So what we're asking you to do, the mayor has maybe more intimate knowledge and understanding of the facility that Jeffrey Epstein reportedly suicided himself, or however you want to word that.
As you will, well, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, we're not going to say anything. So you want to tune into this, and in order to do so, all you have to do is head over to his X account. Many of you are watching right now on X. Hit that purple subscribe button. It's either purple or pink. You decide. Hit that subscribe button, and I'd say at around 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to drop a very, very strong video. And look, we're not saying much more about what's going to be in this video, but you're going to want to tune in. The mayor knows this facility. He was there working we were working downtown when that facility was built. Is that true? You were in New York.
Sure,
what were you doing when it was built?
Right,
yeah,
right across the street.
And then it recently closed. So subscribe on X.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that dirty, sick stuff later. So let's get to the dirty, sick stuff of politics. There's an election coming up this year. We're finally in 2024. It almost seems like, forever. So we're also going to do a special for you and give you sort of the ground rules for the caucus and for the primary. One comes up in 2 weeks, the other in 3, in Iowa and in New Hampshire, because I have a feeling that although they're always important, these are going to be critical. And I do believe New Hampshire is enormously important But I think Iowa is more important this time than usual. I think the old rule that whoever wins Iowa doesn't win, which is not true completely, but statistically, New Hampshire is a better predictor. I think that it would depend on how Iowa goes. A surprisingly good showing by one of the second place people could shake things up a bit, even if it isn't a win. But it would have to be within, small single digits. I would say that's true. It would have to be. And then New Hampshire becomes even more exciting because can that person repeat it in New Hampshire, or can the front runner assert himself the way it usually happens? Ronald Reagan lost Iowa, and then he won in New Hampshire, and he went right on to beating Bush. Trump lost Iowa, and then he won in New Hampshire, and he went on and took the nomination. A couple more of those. Trump again is going to beat the living daylights out of them on ratings because they're going to do a debate on CNN. We probably have more people watching us right now than CNN has, and also the people watching us are alive. CNN has a lot of I think they have a lot of those people, those dead people who vote Democrat, who are informing themselves about the election. I am trying to work out for Trump a whole several town hall meetings at cemeteries where there were numerous votes last time. I'm not allowed to describe which ones out of respect for the dead, but there are some of these cemeteries. They get better turnouts than the city. Like they get 95% turnout. And would you believe they all vote Democrat? Even guys that were Republicans all their lives, they vote Democrat. You get a whole big Republican cemetery and they vote 95% Democrat when they're dead. So I think one of the things we don't do, along with voting early and having phony ballots printed up and getting people to collect ballots from elderly people who don't know where they are, we just don't get dead people votes. Well, we're going to have to see what we can do about that. That's a joke. FBI, it's a joke. Okay? Joke. Ha ha ha.
So, Mayor, of course.
Chad, they're not laughing.
I hear people laughing from all over the country.
Laughing.
We have viewers all over the country.
But the FBI's not laughing.
Oh, no. Well,
no,
well,
the FBI's not laughing.
Of course not. They're writing this down and putting together a report.
So Trump's going to do a town hall with, I don't know why he's doing it with Fox. I got to tell you, he should do it with Newsmax or One American News or anybody else. They haven't been that. Brett Baer and Martha McCallum are going to be doing it, who, by the way, personally, I think are wonderful. But the channel's become really very, very manipulated. I know these people, and I know what they believe, and I know a lot of the stuff they're forced to say or not say is amazing. They went through the last 3 September 11s without interviewing me. And they interviewed people who weren't even there, much less running it, almost, being killed there. I was on every year with them until I became persona non grata, like Trump. But Trump's got himself back there. He's going to do one with them. So we'll see what the debate war will be. They'll be the last debate. They say there are only going to be 3 of them. No Christie in this debate? Anybody paying attention except me?
So what we had, Christie is not going to be at the debate.
Why?
He didn't qualify. I'm actually texting Vivek Ramaswamy's team as we speak. He's barnstorming the state. They're going to send in some pictures, maybe video. He's got 4 or 5 stops today. Of course, we've seen DeSantis doing interviews on the trail. I'm sure Nikki Haley.
This is DeSantis' real. Yes, and unless he makes a good showing, it's over. I mean, put the most money in. Now, she has put the most money in the last 2 weeks. If I recall correctly, she's put in about $4.5 million in ads, and Trump and DeSantis more like $1.5 million. So she's outspending them on ads 4-1. I can't tell you that ads are that crucial in a caucus, but obviously she's trying really hard to take this away from DeSantis, because this was going to be DeSantis's moment of glory in New Hampshire, and he made the mistake of ignoring and kind of giving the feeling to the people of New Hampshire that he was ignoring them. It's one thing to ignore them; it's another thing to do it so obviously. So I think he's going to get creamed in New Hampshire. I mean, Christie's ahead of him. If Christie's out, that might help him. I don't know.
That's right, and I think Nikki Haley is hoping that people start to see the DeSantis campaign as, floundering, as basically unviable, right?
In a way, Sununu. Maria, did Sununu ever endorse DeSantis or just appear with him a lot?
He never endorsed him. He's endorsed Haley.
Yeah, he endorsed Haley, right?
Yeah,
he endorsed her after she didn't know what the cause of the Civil War was.
No, he endorsed her before that.
Oh, he did. He did. Oh, that's good.
It's like the people endorsing Trump now.
He knows the cause of the Civil War. Or are we going to have to explain? Are we going to have to explain it to him?
But as Dr. Maria said, he endorsed late. He was waiting. It's one of those useless endorsements. It's like the people endorsing Trump now. It's like, okay, well, first of all, we know why these members of Congress. It's the beginning of the fundraising cycle.
Yeah, but
right?
I mean,
they're endorsing Trump now.
Trump against him in New Hampshire, and Trump kills him.
Yeah,
I mean, he won big as a governor, but if you run him against Trump, if you put him in the primary against Trump, Trump beats him by 50 points.
A great question, Mayor. Where do you fall on this? Do endorsements matter?
Yeah, endorsements matter. They don't matter as much for a Trump or for a Biden, let's say, or they do matter for a first-time candidate. And sometimes non-endorsements matter. I think DeSantis was hurt tremendously by getting almost no congressional endorsements when he spent his life in Congress. Tells you he wasn't well liked. He should have come away with at least 20 or 30 friends that would have endorsed him. It is true, you got to take on the wrath of the king, but there should have been a few more than like Chip.
Or does that just say how popular
Chip Pip? What's his name? Chip
Roy.
Oh, Chip Roy. Yeah,
Chip Roy. He's so. But is part of it too? Does that show the strength of not just President Trump, but his movement? Right, because people are afraid to endorse against him. Some members are. Or does it just show a little courage people in Congress have?
The funny thing about Trump is it isn't necessarily you're afraid of his people.
Yeah,
his people are so loyal.
Yeah.
I mean, look how he's pretty darn friendly now with Cruz and very friendly with Cruz and friendly enough with Rubio.
And with Lindsey.
Yeah, Lindsey ran against him and he said a couple of nasty things about Lindsey.
Tom Cotton endorsed today?
Yep.
See, anyone that's endorsing now, come on. It's almost I
don't believe that's right.
I think you have to because we have to win, right? So we have to take everyone back on.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I think the unity of the party is really important. And I think there's a point at which one can get angry at the people who are helping Biden. Yeah. I mean, after all, that this isn't an ordinary election. There are about 4 or 5 reasons where we're not going to have in America if we reelect this guy, and nobody's exaggerating.
Yeah,
we're not going to have in America. We're not going to have a court system where Republicans are treated fairly. Is that America? We're going to have an endless, no-end war in Ukraine, where he and Zelensky get everybody killed so they can whack up all that money. So there's a lot at stake here. I mean, Trump turned over to Biden a world of peace. Biden will have turned over to him a world with 2, hopefully it's only 2 at the time, complex wars that could become something else. We'll be back very shortly.
Our device is something that you can plug into your television, and now you can use your television as a social television type experience. So in the Portal universe, you can watch your favorite content creators' videos, live streams, music. We also have TV subscriptions as well.
TV
so
subscriptions.
You can also
regular channels, all the sports.
Right, you can actually cut your cable from your cable subscription and get QUX TV on our QX TV boxes, and you can pay half the price that you're currently paying for your cable television subscription, and you can get all the best premium TV channels and more. I mean, it's really, there's so much on there, Rudy. I mean, you've seen it.
No, I've seen it and I use it, and it's good. I mean, it's great. It's just exactly the same except for half the price. Plus, nobody is finding out what I'm watching, and that's not being reported to anybody.
Right, so you have absolute privacy using this device, which you don't have on other devices out there currently on the market.
This is absolutely great. QUX.TV is how you can find out about it. QUX.TV.
Use promo code RUDY to receive $30 off.
This is Rudy Giuliani back with America's Mayor Live. Bye-bye, President Gay. But not bad. You're going to get 90 grand, 190 grand a year.
No.
Oh, 900 grand. Oh, my God. Wow. You know, you make a lot of money being a plagiarizer. Did you ever think of that? Maybe that's what a PhD was in. You know, they want to take her PhD away, doctor. We have a PhD, and it's not Ted, and it's not me, and it's not Mike. It's Dr. Maria. But Dr. Maria, maybe she has her. Maybe they could do a Harvard will come up with a PhD in plagiarism.
One of the women she cheated against, a black woman with a PhD that she plagiarized from, she believes she should not be called doctor anymore.
Well, if she cheated to get the PhD, of course she shouldn't. Like Biden shouldn't be called president because he cheated.
That's how it works.
Ooh, I just support an insurrection.
We've just been canceled. We're off.
We're off the air.
We're off the air.
The FBI's not.
Everything is shut down except for X.
FBI's
and
at the
except for
door
QUX.
in their Gestapo uniforms. You will now all hang up, but please show us your Giuliani. You have your papers. We're gonna put you on a train. Dr. Maria doesn't think that's funny.
But anyway, go on. Move on.
Why? What's wrong with putting him on the train? Okay, I will not make fun of them. After all, I remember all of the Gestapo type troops I sent out to arrest the mafia people. If I didn't send Gestapo like troops out to arrest mafia people, what the hell are they doing sending them out to arrest Roger Stone for? Like Roger Stone's going to shoot him?
So the idea being the current powers that be in this country have used tactics that authoritarian regimes in the past have used to
Totally
apprehend
inappropriate, of
and
course.
herass
Well, even
their
the
political
January-
opponents.
Even the January 6 people going to their houses with military type things early in the morning.
4 a.m. raids,
Getting 3-year-old babies crying their eyes out.
tipping off the news.
Bringing CNN with
Yeah.
you, which is like a crime. Leaking that. I mean,
Something like that can kill you.
I got indicted in Georgia by a DA who committed a crime. She leaked the indictment before it was indicted. That's the biggest crime committed in this whole case. That's probably the only crime, her. And then she made a mockery of the grand jury because they released the indictment and then they look at it and they say, oh, we forgot to get the grand jury to vote for it. We forgot to get the grand jury to vote. Okay, I tell you what we'll do. Let's take it back. We'll take it back. And we'll spend all day and we'll get the grand jury to vote for it. And they made no changes. It was exactly the same phony indictment with a racketeering count. Like they, you could try at Fulton County, just Oh, well. So gone is a PhD gay as the president of what used to be a distinguished university and now is revealing itself as an institution of higher Marxist training. I would say that would be its major achievement. It's very, very strong on gender change. It's very strong on allowing males to compete with females. They're going to have males boxing with females now. It should really be good. Really, really be good. And of course, I don't know. Did the new judge on the Supreme Court? Did she go to Harvard? The one that cannot define women? Obviously, they don't teach biology anymore. Is biology gone as a course at Harvard? Because you don't really have to be. What did she say? She had to be a biologist in order to
Harvard undergrad, Harvard Law.
But what did she say?
Brown Jackson.
But what did she say that she had?
She wasn't a doctor.
Oh, she wasn't a doctor.
She said she wasn't a biologist, something like that.
But I would think didn't she take it like in high school, biology?
We'll see if we can find that clip.
What kind of grade she got in biology? Maybe she failed biology and that's why she didn't know. I would think on a biology exam, if you were asked to define what a woman is and you couldn't, you'd get an F. Well, you used to get them. Now you'd probably go to they don't give Fs anymore. If you get an F, you still pass, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So again, stay with us after tonight's show.
We don't need grades anymore. We don't need grades anymore. Not necessary. Alan Dershowitz has a great article today talking about how it's not enough to get rid of these people like Gay and the one in Pennsylvania and the one at MIT who hasn't been canned yet. It's important to get rid of DEI. DEI, let me just sum up DEI. DEI means if I study my backside off, I get 100 on the exam. You don't show up for class. You get 22. We both end up passing. And then we both go to work. I work all day. You don't. And we both get paid the same. That's what communism is about. That's why it fails. Because at the very, very core, it defies human nature. It challenges human nature. It challenges something called fairness. It's unfair. It's grossly unfair. It's unjust, just like the Biden regime, just like the insane thing Biden did today. One of many, I'm sure, but the one I'll focus on is going into court and trying to stop Governor Abbott from keeping illegal migrants coming into his state that is being ruined by illegal migrants. They can't fit anymore in Texas. And also they're living with the nightmare of they don't know who they're letting in. These people come in. The ones who are stopped, they don't vet them. They let them recite, I'm fleeing persecution. I'm fleeing persecution. Okay, come on in. Date. Let's have a date. January 3rd, 2027. Where would you like to go? Oh, I heard Adams is giving health insurance in New York. Yeah, we'll send you to New York. Now California has come in, and as of January 1st, California is going to give everybody, all illegals, are going to get health insurance.
Send them all to California then.
760,000 on the books right now. It's going to cost 68 billion. Oh no, 68 billion is their deficit. I don't know exactly how many billion it's going to cost. It's going to knock it up something like 7 or 8%. Their deficit. I mean, they're borrowing to pay. Surely, among those people, you would have to admit, even if we can't tell you the numbers, they're going to be paying health insurance for fentanyl dealers. for high-level Mexican cartel agents, for people sent here by the regime of Iran, by ISIS, by Hamas, by Hezbollah, to commit terrorist acts. They'll be giving health insurance to numerous people trafficking children and women. They'll be giving a tremendous amount of money to Chinese spies who come in wearing their suits and having their little notebooks ready to get all the information they can get. No one checks on them, and they'll all be getting health insurance. Now, also getting health insurance will be the people who we never get to see. In other words, the ones that walk in, and because the Border Patrol is so tied up with this year 3.2 million people that had to be processed, if this is called a process, they don't have the time. So you just move over a couple miles on the border, you come across, and that's where the cartels, Sinaloa, Gulf, whichever one you're working with, bring in the high value people, the people paying the real bucks. You know, if I'm going to bring in a lot of fentanyl, I don't want to take a risk. Maybe one of these guys will actually have the guts to do his job. And I say guts because he probably gets fired if he does it. I mean, they help the people come over the border. And look at what Biden is doing. The state puts up a barrier to stop illegals from coming in, to stop these people who are bringing death to America, to stop an invasion of this country by foreigners, many of whom have bad intentions for us, who want to overthrow our government. He's not just not enforcing the law once they get here. He's now aiding them in getting here by taking down all barriers. I mean, it was bad enough a couple of weeks ago. If you saw the pictures where the wall that Trump built, they opened the doors. The doors are open. And then they have the gall to tell us, oh, we're getting control of it. Mm-hmm. Biden and Mayorkas came up with a great con job. At the beginning of last year, they said, we're going to cut down on the asylum because it turns out that only about 5% of the asylum claims turn out to be true. So if 100,000 come in claiming asylum, 95,000 are here illegally. But all 100,000 are here illegally because they don't pay attention to the law. The law says that if you're seeking asylum, you have to express that in the first country you show up in. If you don't do it, we can send you back there. We don't do that with a single one of these people. All those people we're giving health insurance to. So California is doing it now. The mayor of New York has been doing it for 2 years. Why do you think they're coming to New York? And the guy is the biggest whiner. And the reason his approval rating is the lowest for any mayor since they started taking approval ratings, and man, we had some pretty damn awful mayors, is because he does these things that make no sense. Can we play that piece of his a little later where he's telling people, this is like a year and a half before California, come to New York, I'll give you health insurance.
Yeah, we'll get that ready.
And I can't tell you how many articles I've seen in the newspapers where reporters interview the illegals and they say, oh, we're going to New York. You get more in New York. You get treated better in New York. Now, what's happened is things have backed up so much in New York. There are people now starting to leave because New York has bankrupted itself. And then the other thing that's happened here is we've treated the illegals much better than, like, New Yorkers don't get health insurance. All get health insurance. They do. We're citizens. We worked. I don't know if he'll make it to the election. I really don't. Did we put on the piece yesterday with him, that totally inane thing about his having ice cream and
Yeah, we play it. Yeah.
yeah, that sounded like bedtime at the bonsai, the bonsai nursing home for the criminally idiotic. I'm going to tell you this, and Mike would be interested in this. They have excellent facilities for the mentally deranged in federal prisons.
Not Rikers.
Well, Rikers not a federal facility.
Yeah.
It'd be nice as some of probably the federal prison, the nursing home type things are nicer than a lot of the low-level nursing homes. And they don't have somebody like Cuomo who sends people into nursing homes to die.
Well, they do call the federal prisons club fed. So
yeah, they're not bad. I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad. So war is still going on. Of course, Biden's president. So we have a Democratic president. So we have to have a war. When you have a Democratic mayor in New York, you have riots. When you have a Democratic president in Washington, you have wars. So, and we don't have just one; we got two, and both of them we have no policy for. We have no plan. Our allies who we're supporting have plans, but we don't. So let's take Israel first. Bibi has a very clear plan, right? And it makes sense to me, right? Hamas has been from the very beginning committed by oath to destroying. Here's the beginning of it, right? Death to Israel, death to America, death to the Jews. Okay. Could there be any clearer? And just in case you think they're fooling around about it, on October 6th, they went and targeted weak, innocent civilians. They didn't target a single soldier. They didn't target a single combatant. They went after women and children and old men. Killed them and took them as hostages to make a point about how barbaric they are. And they also made the point they're going to continue to do this until they eliminate Israel. Their well-educated Ivy League supporters in America and those who pretend, who follow the Ivy League lead, hold demonstrations in favor of these terrorists because for some reason they are enamored of these murderers who rape women, kill children, hold children as hostages, require women to watch their husbands being killed or vice versa. The American idiots that go to our colleges find this extraordinarily supportive because they're chanting that they want Israel driven into the sea. Why they would want an advanced country like Israel, that probably is the leading country on cybersecurity in the world, to be destroyed is absolutely and 100% an indication of how bankrupt our higher education system is. We've known for some time that the public education system in the hands of the Communist Teachers Union is really a school for communism. It is, and you can see it, that they are fulfilling the wishes of Marx and Engels and Mao and Stalin and Hitler, who was a socialist after all. National Socialist Party. I wouldn't expect that anybody who went to Harvard would know that because they stopped teaching history in 2006, I think. Whenever it is that Israel stopped occupying Gaza, because the people at Harvard think that Israel is still occupying Gaza and want the occupation over. We could kind of solve that one by just telling them it's over. But then they'd say we're here anyway to burn things and hurt people and destroy cars and tie up the streets so that people can't get to the hospital on time and drop dead. This is what we're bringing up. Think maybe it needs to be changed? I think so. I think so. Hopefully, America will. Now, Adams is really smart. You should know he's really, really smart. He explained to us what a good poker player he is. So he banned all buses from coming into New York. If you bring a bus with migrants into New York and you don't tell him 36 hours in advance, he will fine you and put you in jail. Now, how he accomplishes that with how he puts you in jail with an executive order and hasn't made himself a dictator, I don't know. I never knew that as mayor, I could put people in jail. I probably, under very, very significant emergency powers, could fine you. But I don't know how I could take a bus driver out of a bus and put him in jail because he brought people into New York. I actually think that what they're doing is a violation of the Interstate Commerce Clause. But of course, that would mean nothing to them because they have violated much more important constitutional rights than the Interstate Commerce Clause. They violated my right of privacy. They violated Trump's right to have an attorney. They violated lots of other people's right to have an attorney. They just take the Constitution and they crap all over it because they're not really Americans.
Mayor, as we speak, actually, on that, the migrants being transported, the mayor of Secaucus, New Jersey, where Rob is from, unfortunately, he's not here tonight, actually just told Mayor Adams, F you, we're driving all those migrants you left here, we're bringing them right to the city. That's exactly what he just told him. And the cops right now are literally bringing them from Secaucus to New York City.
And they want to come. They don't want to go to Secaucus.
Who wants to go to Secaucus?
You think these people come
Hey,
from
that's not
Guatemala?
fair.
I know.
That's not
It's
fair.
like-
Rob's not even here to defend
It's
it.
like the joke I used to
Well,
tell
Rob's
about New
always here.
Jersey. It's like the
What's the
joke
joke?
I used to tell about New Jersey.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
New
it.
York and New Jersey had a case in the United States Supreme Court about who owns Ellis Island.
Right.
And it was a tie. We split Ellis Island, which I always thought was ridiculous. And I wanted to argue the case. I mean, I won almost all the cases I argued. And the one case I argued in the Supreme Court, I won. So I felt pretty lucky. And I also knew I could at least get to Scalia as an Italian American. I was going to say to him, look, Nino, and I know him, I work with him in the Justice Department. I wouldn't call him Nino on the bench. I'd say, Your Honor, when my grandfather was sitting on the shores of Genoa, which is where the boat left when he came to America, he wasn't saying to himself, I'm going to go into New Jersey. I'm going to go into New Jersey. He didn't even know what the hell New Jersey was. He was going to New York. The streets paved with gold. And they knew the gold was hard work and opportunity and fairness and freedom. He said, I'm going to New Jersey. What the hell was New Jersey? New Jersey. Nobody in Italy even knew there was a New Jersey. They at this point, they don't even know there's a New Jersey.
Because Rob's not here. Mayor, where do the New York
It's not
Giants play?
because Rob is here.
Where do the New York Giants play?
I don't know. Where do they play? I never really
What,
took
what
a look
state
at
does the New York Jets? Where do the New York Jets play?
Is that a state? It looks like an industrial complex with lots
Yeah, it does.
like
I will
a-
say, driving in, because we drive to DC, right? We've driven to DC a few times.
Yeah,
It really is like the Sopranos
and then,
open.
and then of
It's-
course you drive over where all those dead bodies are.
Right.
Like on the
They claim Jimmy Hoffa might be buried.
Hey, Jimmy Hoffa, last seen in Michigan. I know where he's at. He's in
I
Michigan.
think everybody from Red Hook and Brooklyn is buried there. When Gallo and Colombo went to war with each other, they just take the bodies, take them over to New Jersey, and drop them there. You know, when I brought murder down the first time, they accused Bratton and me of taking the bodies to New Jersey.
Yeah.
It was the last couple of
I'm
days
not
of the
laughing at
year.
that one.
The last couple of days of the year, we had a big decline in murder, and one of the reporters, it was a funny piece, but one of the reporters said, we're dumping the bodies in New Jersey. Yeah, when they put up the new giant Jet Stadium, they were afraid when they dug up the end zone, they're going to find Jimmy.
Yeah.
It is.
When you do drive to New Jersey, it does smell like crap.
No, well, it's just it's just
And
like
they
this.
can't drive.
Anyone that's
Smells.
if you haven't
drug-
been,
Yeah, yeah.
You watch them in New York City
Oh.
driving; they're not used to driving in traffic. They think it's bumper cars. Bang against this car, bang against that car. This is, I have to tell you, all those of you who don't come from the New York metropolitan area, this is about a 50-year thing that goes on between New York and New Jersey. And the funniest thing is we're all related. I mean, half my relatives live in New Jersey and half their relatives live in New York. And it's kind of a joke. And Ted is absolutely right. We don't have a football team. The Buffalo Bills is the only New York football team. It's the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants. But I mean, they're smart. They want to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, the Supreme Court took half of Ellis Island. Of course, they gave them the back half.
So they did. So they split it.
Yeah.
Ellis Island was split.
Yeah.
Where was the
Statue
main-
of Liberty is not. We got the Statue of Liberty.
New York City is
Okay.
a hockey town. It's the Rangers.
That's where we're hockey town.
Hockey
Oh yeah, you walk around, you see all the kids playing hockey.
Yeah, it's a hockey town. Trust
Well,
me.
I think it's more of a basketball. I think basketball.
I think
The
it's a
Rangers
and boxing.
The Rangers and Knicks sell out MSG every night.
man. You want to
The
play
Knicks
basketball?
sell out every night.
Every night.
Yeah, and then everybody leaves
No
after
way.
the first quarter.
That's true, but they still sell it.
Really?
Yes,
They're actually not.
I am shocked by that.
Just to show you that I do peak. They're not doing too bad this year. The Knicks.
Knicks. They're doing a little good. They're doing
Yeah,
good.
they actually almost got themselves in the
Last year it was, playoffs.
in the playoffs
Knicks and
for
the
that
Rangers
stupid
are doing
tournament.
But for those I'm not from here, and I can tell you, if you've watched The Sopranos, New Jersey, just outside New York City, it is just like The Sopranos opening credits. It really is.
You know what I did with
That's
the first time?
exactly
the
where they
first
filmed it.
The first time I saw it, I fell in love with it because Tony Soprano, first thing, you see, going to New Jersey. So I told the press, this is me.
100%.
I mean, if you did this 10 years ago, they'd have to stay in New York. I sent them all to New Jersey.
100%. That's the point of
The
that's
ones I
the
didn't put away
opening
for 100
shot.
years, yeah.
It's because of Giuliani. You see the
They
opening
actually-
shot. They're
They
leaving
actually
New York
say
City.
a few things like it in it because the two people that own it were friends. One of them is my agent. He's unfortunately passed away.
So they credited. They told you that was part of it,
Yeah,
right?
they used to put me in every once in a while, make little
Really?
wisecracks about me. Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah.
I'll have
If you
to.
go
Find,
back
was
and
your
listen
is
to
your
it.
name in it?
Yeah.
They say Giuliani
when
in the show?
Giuliani was around. Dude,
Yeah, I
that
want to see those.
that kind of stuff.
I grew up watching The Sopranos.
He was so good. What an actor.
Who? Oh, what's his name?
Mm.
James
James
Gandolfini.
Gandolfini. What a name, huh?
What a name!
He died of an overdose in Italy.
Oh, no!
Really?
That was a
Isn't that
good
shame?
show.
So many actors and so many great actors. And well, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. And if I don't have my balance in Asia, Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices America's greatest heroes have made for us. Heroes who risked their lives to keep our communities and our country safe. Heroes like United States Marine Corps Captain and pilot John Jeremy Sachs. Captain Sachs sustained fatal injuries when his military aircraft crashed during training, killing him and 5 other service members. He's remembered by loved ones as courageous, brilliant, and devoted to his career, family, and friends. John is survived by his wife, Amber, who gave birth to their second daughter 3 months after his death. Tunnels to Towers paid the mortgage on the family home for Amber and their 2 daughters. The foundation has helped over 1,000 military and first responder families navigate the worst of times by removing the burden of a mortgage payment. Our nation's heroes and their families need your help now more than ever. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2T.org. T2T.org. Please donate now. Thank you for returning to America's Mayor Live. 9/11 is more than a day in history. It's a day that is still taking lives. More first responders have died since that day from their illnesses than on September 11 itself. Yet only 2 states in this country have kindergarten through 12th grade mandates requiring teaching in each grade about September 11. A whole generation of children knows little to nothing about that day. The Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute is righting this wrong by helping teachers educate kids in grades K through 12 with nonfiction resources, full curriculum units with scripted social studies lessons, activities, and background for teachers. Nonfiction first-person accounts told through videos and the Discovering Heroes book series. A speakers bureau for classrooms, a mobile exhibit, a tractor trailer that's an interactive museum with 9/11 artifacts, and the Russell F. Siller Memorial Scholarships for the children of program recipients. To never forget, we must educate future generations. Help our nation keep its vow. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2T.org. T2T.org, $11 a month. What an organization. And what a stereotype or a prototype for a lot of other things we have to do with education, huh? Thank you, the Silla family. Once again, leading the way. Once again, leading the way. Absolutely. So if we take a quick look at Israel, we will see that the number 2 leader of Hamas has gone up to paradise or wherever he thinks he's going, which I'm quite convinced is not paradise. Nor do I think, and Dr. Maria doesn't like when I say that, nor do I think what he's promised he's going to get, but that's their problem, not mine. Yeah, they definitely don't have 72 virgins in hell, or 79, whichever the right translation is. He was killed in Lebanon because he was hiding in Lebanon, because he doesn't have the guts to be in Gaza with his own people.
Yeah.
His people can die, but he didn't want to die
because
he knows that whole thing about the 72, 79 versions. Just mathematically doesn't work. We're approximately 50-50 male and female. How the hell are you going to get 72 or 79 versions for every guy? Unless they're not telling the truth. This guy was the head of the Qassam brigades. Definitely a serial murderer, Salah al-Arari, and 5 other similar murderers like him took it in Lebanon also. President of Lebanon was all upset that Israel did that. This guy has killed a lot of Americans as well. Now, here it is. Fruits, veggies. Don't forget, have your balance of nature. 2 in the morning, 2 at night. You can do 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I think 2 is much better.
That's right. And be sure to visit balanceofnature.com.
Promo code.
Hit that promo code Rudy, R-U-D-Y.
Rudy.
And get yours today for huge savings. And what a great way to start the year. Balance of Nature. Now's the time. Get on it. Get it for your friends, family, loved ones, neighbors, coworkers.
Now, the major attack turns out to be, we thought that this would be the major attack in Lebanon, taking out the number 2 guy. They also took out a brigade commander in southern Gaza the other day. These are big hits, by the way. This is like taking out the general command. But the one that really shook everyone was the attack in Iran at the Soleimani mausoleum. This murderer who killed many, many American soldiers has a mausoleum and a big day celebrating, I guess it's the 4th anniversary of Donald Trump sending him where he belongs, Biden having opposed it. So I guess you could count us out as the ones who did it, huh? Be kind of weird if Biden decided to bomb the people going to pay tribute to the guy he thought shouldn't be killed. And Biden wouldn't do that anyway. He's kind of on their side, so why would he do it? Also, to be quite honest, and not to be a wise guy, This is not an American-Israeli hit. I can tell you that for sure. This is an internal problem. Now, by internal, it could be internal. There's a tremendous amount of turmoil in Iran. I mean, Biden fixed some of it by going easy on the sanctions that Trump put in place, and then he backed off the sanctions about a year in. But the reality is he backed off the sanctions on day one. Because under Obama, we really didn't have sanctions. They were on the books, but we didn't enforce them. You got to enforce them in order for it to, it's like it's illegal to come over the border without announcing yourself, having the right papers. But we don't even care. If you put a barrier up, we take it down. We send troops down to help you come over illegally. So the law, this is like the Soviet Union. Soviet Union had a right to free speech, except when you used it, and then they put you in jail. So this is what we have now. We have these rights, but they don't really exist. You have a right to due process, but then some singular Secretary of State who isn't even a lawyer, not even elected, can decide you committed, you were involved in an insurrection that hasn't been proved and hasn't even been charged against you or anybody else. But she can just take you off the ballot. Check you off. Because I'm a Democrat, and who knows, you may get that. You may get an electoral vote or two, because Maine, you split up the electoral votes in Maine, and you may get elected. And we don't want to give up our power. We're too damn greedy to do that. A lot of us are making money, and the others of us feel like we're completing the mission of fixing America, which means destroying it and making it a one world country. So the Israelis are doing a damn good job of hitting back. Now, who did that? I don't know. I had a long talk with one of my strongest people on Iran. In fact, I was going to have him on tonight, but he wants a little more time to research this before he says anything. He says you can be 90% sure it's in the U.S. or Israel, because first of all, they wouldn't do civilians. They would do high value targets. A high value target is a target that can hurt you. If you're gonna go through the expense and the risk of bombing, you want to take out something important. You don't want to do a Clinton or a Biden. You don't want to hit an empty field. You don't want to hit an ammunition dump with no ammunition like Biden does. This is all because I don't know why, because they're Democrats. And I don't know. I mean, I know why Biden does. I don't know why Clinton did it. Clinton was a patriotic person. I don't know why he did it, just because they get terrible advice. But if it was the United States or Israel, it would have been a great opportunity to do one of two things: take out some of the nuclear facilities and set it back 2-3 years, or take out the head. Take out the maniac Ayatollah. See what happens. That place was on its way to rolling before Biden put it back together again with a lot of money. Trump will tell you that. I mean, you talk to Trump. Trump very much had the feeling that they had about another 2 years to go. And I've almost been inside of Iran. I've seen so much of it internally. I won't tell you how, but I have. And in 2018 and 2019, when you see Iranians holding signs like "Kill the Ayatollah," his days are numbered. When people will put their lives at risk to get rid of the dictator, the people are starting to assert themselves. Now, they got a reprieve with Biden. I know it's hard to accept that Obama and Biden are on their side, but you don't give them billions if you're not on their side, particularly when they're committed to killing Israelis and your own people. And you do, and they do. In Ukraine, it looks like we're headed for a compromise. It looks like everybody's talking themselves into the Russians stay where they are, the Ukrainians stay where they are, and they don't keep blowing their heads off for the next 5 years and still remain there. because we don't want to give them what they need to win. It's that simple. You go ask Biden why that's the case. You go ask him why. I'm not sure I don't disagree with the fact that you have to wrap it up, but I mean, the reality is you've got 2 wars with no plan, and a war without a plan is immoral. From our point of view, the Israelis have a plan. The Ukrainians have a plan. The Russians have a plan. And the Iranians have a plan. The United States of America doesn't know what the hell it's doing. It's doing probably whatever China wants us to do because China's paying the bills. Oh, not for us, for the big guy. You all know who the big guy is, right? Right.
That's right. And of course,
Just see if I got everything I wanted.
well, while you're looking at your list, I'm
Yes.
going to remind people to tune in here in about, I'd say an hour, hopefully
Well, the
less than an hour.
Last part I have right there is the Epstein case, and we're going to cover 2 parts of it. We're going to cover the prison. We don't need any help from anybody on that one. I got that one in my head. I watched it being built, and I think I can explain to you the nagging questions that remain that need to be investigated. And then we'll take a look at, if not all the names, because they're all over the place, the categories and how we can create some kind of fairness for this. And what do we hold these people responsible for or not? Or so you go to
X.
you go to
.com.
x.com.
X.com.
Oh,
Yeah.
x.com.
If you're on a desktop, head over to x.com. At Rudy Giuliani. It's all on the screen here. Take a look at the screen.
Okay.
Follow those
And-
instructions. Sign up. You're going to want to be a part of this, and so you have some
There's going to
time
be
here.
plenty of this. We're going to do more on Epstein as we get more inside information from our sources. We're going to do a really good one on Iran very, very shortly. In fact, I talked to the guy tonight. He's just not ready with what he thinks, and I'm not going to tell you what he thinks because he only thinks that he can't prove it. And we try to be able to prove.
Do you have
what
your
we
pointer, Mayor? Let me see that pointer. Hand me that.
think. My pointer.
Here, hand that over. So see on the screen here? Look at the screen. Keep your face there. You see on
Yeah.
the big screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, folks. Right there. You see that little purple?
Oh yeah, the purple.
Yeah, I'm pointing at it.
Yeah. Let me
Head
have
over to
that.
his account. And I'm pointing here. You point at it.
Yeah, I'll point at it, and I'll point at.
It's in the middle of the screen, though. If
That's
you
one of
notice.
my maps right there. That's subscribe.
No, it's in the. Yeah, but Mayor,
They
you're
can't
look-
see that.
No, you got to point at. It's on the screen, right?
Yeah, right there.
So you got to do it in the air, kind of, and kind of look at the screen of here, right?
I got to look that way.
Yeah. Look. Right here. I'll do it. Let me do
All
it.
right.
But right here, go to that, hit that subscribe button. It's on his homepage on
It's
his
purple.
X account. It's purple. Hit that button, and for less than 33 cents a day, you're going to get unique
That's
perspective,
cheap.
insight on what I consider the ultimate Renaissance man, Mayor Rudy Giuliani. You want to be a part of what we're going to call a little club here. We've got hundreds of members.
No,
It's
it's gonna
growing
be-
by the day.
This is going to be our.
You wanna get
this
it on
is
the
gonna be
ground
our
floor.
army to take our country back by the end of this year. We're growing. We want to stay together. We want to have a unified message. Not just me talking to you, but you talking to me. And we're going to set that up. So subscribe, and we'll be back. I'm going to spend a little more time gathering the facts here, looking at what was put out by the court. And then we'll do only be about 20 minutes, and we'll give you an overview of Epstein so that you'll have a way of evaluating all these facts that are going to come in so quickly. God bless you. God bless the people of Israel. Pray for them, please. Pray for the people of America. God bless the people of America, and God bless America. Our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, The reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze. We are able